This is WITZ live in studio. Today we have a special feature on the general election featuring the back party, the magnificent minorities, and the back panel. Today we have interviews featuring Christian Van Hooser, Kiana Knox, and Bailey Valouz, the presidential candidates, and including the vice presidential candidates. Nancy! We are live! You did one job! Now that that's settled, thank you, Nancy. We have our very own Kirsten Patrick with presidential candidate Kiana Knox for the Magnificent Minority Party, and let's see what they're up to.
Kiana, how do you plan to gain the majority vote if you only focus on minorities?
Well, we don't mainly focus on minorities. We focus on everyone, but we just like to highlight them a little bit more than others.
Well, oh my.
Well, that was an articulate bit of public speaking. Hopefully their policies won't be nearly as shaky. Now let's cut over to Zach Jefferson with Samantha Garner, the vice presidential candidate for the Magnificent Minorities, who hopefully will be able to articulate better than her counterpart.
As vice president, if your President Kiana were forced out of office or unable to fulfill her duties, how would you step in?
Well, thank you, Zach. I feel that I am confident and a strong enough person that if anything were bad to happen to Miss Kiana Knox, I can step into that role, president, and fulfill the Magnificent Minorities' duties to this country.
Thank you. And what qualifications do you have that led you to be chosen as the vice president for the Magnificent Minorities?
I am strong. I am courageous. I am a people person.
By strong, do you mean physically or mentally?
Both.
Impressive.
I don't know about you viewers, but I am not impressed. So let's cut to Samantha Brewer's interview with the vice presidential candidate of the back panel, Jake Sauer.
You said that your flat tax is 15%. Will
That
be
is correct.
subject to change in bad economic times.
It is subject to change that will be determined by all cabinets and every branch of the government will come to a consensus on how tax if need be.
Besides the inability to speak up and not knowing that this is a live broadcast being shown throughout America, we really couldn't get a whole lot out of Jake. Kirsten Patrick met up with Christian Van Hooser of the back panel to ask a few questions. Let's see how it went.
You said you should increase the amount of financial aid given to students. Who's going to provide that amount of financial aid?
Well, seeing as the government will be spending less money on social programs and other things such as that, we will have more money to give to students who I think most people in our situation would agree are more deserving than those who currently mooch off the welfare program of the United States.
Zach Jefferson got an angry voter's views on Christian's comments.
Well, again, okay. It just is not working.
Your view is marijuana should be legalized. Do you feel that you are going to legalize any other drugs?
Well, our party believes that a more lenient stance on drugs in general should be taken. However, we don't feel it's responsible to legalize more hard drugs such as heroin or meth, so that wouldn't be something we'd be favoring.
Unfortunately, a week after interviewing Christian Van Hooser, his policy on legalizing marijuana seems to have caught up with him. Let's see what he has to say on the matter.
Hey guys, looks like we were a little bit too lenient on marijuana. Turns out it is a gateway drug.
Well, saw that one coming. Let's catch up with vice presidential candidate Jake Sauer to see what he has to say about Christian's recent behavior. An anonymous tip was phoned in today that brought to light the apparent lonely life of Christian Van Hooser as he tries to spice up his love life on www.dateme.com, where likes include long walks on the beach, Stalin, white supremacy, and puppies. These were all listed alongside his profile picture. Bing! I'm here with Bailey Valouz, the presidential candidate of the back party, who was kind enough to let us into her home for an exclusive interview. Tell me, Bailey, I noticed Amy Hunt, your vice presidential candidate, isn't here. What is she up to nowadays?
Well, she had a prior engagement at the Humane Society. She's helping out with a fundraiser.
Oh, very nice. What are you looking most forward to in the upcoming election?
I can't wait to get all spruced up and pit my will against those of the other two parties because I think that the contrast between our views, that equality for all, and those of the back panel and the magnificent minorities will be very evident to the voters, and they will see our point.
I don't know about you voters, but I know who I'm casting my vote for.